Hi, welcome to You, Me and Mediumship. I'm going to talk a little bit about the animal kingdom again. I think I did one video on this, but I just want to go into a little bit more depth. They always say, don't they, that you can tell the purity of a soul by the way it treats animals, which to some degree I totally agree with that. The love that we give the animal kingdom, no matter whether it's a pet or whatever, is very important. Because this life source that flows through our pets, the animals that we see out there in the wild, that life source, that energy, is no different than the life source that flows through us. It is identical in every way. The only difference with us is obviously our evolution. We talk about the fact that we communicate quite easily between us, but that's not to say that the animal kingdom does not do that either. It's just that our awareness, mankind's awareness of the way animals communicate is not exactly up to scratch. Animals have a number of ways of communicating and do so very well between themselves. Our purpose, man sees himself as top of the ladder, on that top rung. In a sense, that is correct. Evolutionarily wise, I guess, that is correct. But we need to look at what we can do whilst we stand on that top rung. Our reason for being there, okay, being up on that pedestal, is to pass down that love, that energy from ourselves into that life force of that animal. The reason we do that is because the energy within that animal is no different than our own. It is seeking, it has purpose, it is on a journey. And that journey's end for that animal eventually is no different than our own. We all are heading in the same direction. All the roots of that life source, all those roots of that life source are all flowing in the direction of the same tree. We are all heading the same way. Many different roots, many different purposes and experiences and perceptions and you name it. But at the end of the day, we are all feeding the same trunk of a tree. And it is exactly the same for the animal kingdom. Where they sit within this jigsaw is so important. It is our responsibility to help with the growth of that energy within that animal, within that soul, within that spirit. And we simply do that by guiding it. And when I say guiding it, what we are doing is by loving it in the way that we love our pets. You are, in a sense, I guess, empowering that soul. And by empowering it, you are giving it light. You are helping it to glow. You are helping it along its pathway. When we lose our pets, it is devastating. And many people use the term, it's like losing a member of the family. You are losing a member of the family. They are part of your group. They are part of your soul group. But what you don't realize is just how much you have given that animal by purely being there, loving it, caring for it. You have helped that animal upon its own purposeful journey. That energy will feed source just as yours does. So it's important that we care for, we love our own animals. That goes for the animal kingdom as a whole. Obviously, there are different levels of this within the animal kingdom. There are different facets of this diamond, of that life force that exists within them, some glowing brighter than others. But it's important that at every opportunity we show that's the tiniest of segments of love to whatever crosses our path that contains this life force. The mind of an animal is no different than the mind of man. You might find that hard to believe, but it is no different. It has its own purpose, its own role. And that role of the animal's mind is exactly the same. To protect itself, to feed itself, to stay warm, to have shelter, etc., etc. It is programmed no differently, because it is of a material substance that is designed to do exactly that. And the mind, body, soul element of the animal is no different. There is a balance, and there are many animals that have a far better balance of those three elements of self than many of the human species, I guess. So, like I said, when we lose a member of our family, one of our pets, now many people talk about experiencing their presence, sensing they are there. You hear some wonderful stories about them returning, and they come through in readings, sometimes alongside a loved one. And it's a lovely feeling. It's a great feeling to know that they are still around us. That consciousness, that energy, that love, that light flows throughout that life source no differently than that of ourselves. Many people get surprised sometimes, when we talk about the importance of the animal kingdom. And I find that quite surprising myself, and they find it quite difficult to understand the relevance and the importance of them sharing this journey with us. They are not just a decoration. They are not just something that happens to walk this path with us. If it contains that life force and that consciousness, it has purpose. It's not a coincidence. We obviously need to try and do our very best, like I said, with anything that contains that beauty of life force itself, that God, that spirit, that energy. We have a duty to that, to help it along its way on its own personal journey. We may well be top of that rung, we may well be top of that ladder, but the one reason why we are there is because we, with that right balance of mind, body, soul, have a responsibility to care for and help and guide, if you like, that energy, that life force within that animal, help it and guide it along its way. And there's only one way of doing that, and that's by loving it and injecting it, if you like, with that energy of love from within ourselves. By doing that, we are teaching it. We are helping it to progress. I hope that helps a bit. I get many questions about the purpose of an animal, the purpose of my pet dog, my pet cat, etc. Why is this happening? Why do we have these pets with us on our own journeys? We have them because we have a duty to them. We have them because we are helping, we are guiding them. And you know as well as I do that animals sense is far stronger than ours. They pick up upon our own energy very easily. They know when we are under the weather. If there are animals that can sense many illnesses. So something that maybe upsets us within the animal can upset it tenfold. So it's important we are aware of that and we allow for that. We do not use them as an object of convenience. They are not there for us just to display, if you like. And repeating myself, we have a duty to that energy, to that life source, to guide it on its own personal journey. And simply by loving it, we are helping it to progress. And we are feeding that life source with purity of love by doing that. The purpose of all life, of all our existences, is simply to feed that energy, that life source of love and light. We are the fuel behind it. It's important that we respect that. So their purpose is no different than ours. Their awareness is far greater. An animal will sense a spirit energy within a room way before we do. I've watched them look spirit up and down. I've experienced that, but I've sensed an energies and literally turned my head to see, I think there's a black Labrador sat there looking this energy up and down. They're well aware of energy within a building. And yes, they pay us a visit after they've passed. And they will be around us for a while. So just a little talk there about the animal kingdom and its importance. Very short video, I know. But it's just to give you my perspective, if you like, on the reason of them sharing this journey with us. I hope you liked it. I'll speak to you all again soon. Please like, please subscribe. And yes, have a look on Patreon. The link is in the description. So have a lovely evening and bye for now.